So here's a view from Livery Street Bridge, absolutely flooded across the towpath there. So I'm going to have to go and jump on the boat to get through to where the lock is. So it's a cold, wet Monday morning. Not very pleasant at all. I'm single-handed today. Again. We had a lovely couple of days in Birmingham. One day up the Aston flight, up the Farmers Bridge flight with Charles and Pat. So this, guys, is what we call commitment to the cause. We're on a day of fun, laughter and merriment, but these dickheads just cannot stop rehearsing. I want my boat back. Stayed overnight, got a bit drunk, and then two other people joined us on the Sunday, which was Sarah and JJ, and we had a very wet journey home yesterday.
So we were about to encounter a problem below Livery Street Bridge, a problem that I've heard reported in the past, but I've never actually witnessed it.
So here's a view from Livery Street Bridge, absolutely flooded across the towpath there. So I'm going to have to go and jump on the boat to get through to where the lock is and then try and release some of this water. Don't bring the boat on the towpath, missus.
But all the way down the flight we'd encountered very heavy bywash and spillways. Well, this one just wasn't up to the job. It just wasn't clearing it out. The water we were bringing down with us was adding to the situation.
Everybody all right on board? So I've just run a bit of water through now that Mrs. L's gone down there a bit. Oh, back when I say home, got to Cuttlebridge Inn at Curdworth on the Birmingham Canal. So it's Monday. Mrs. L is now back at work, and it falls upon me to get the boat back to Lichfield, which is about a 7-hour cruise. The traffic to get here has already put me about half an hour down on the time I wanted to be. I wanted to be on the boat about 8, now 8:45 in the morning, so not happy about that, but it is what it is. I thought, well, I might as well get a few highlights of this trip, and you know me, I can chunter on till the cows come home. So stand by to be bored for the next 10 minutes. But you know what? As grey and moody as it is, it's actually very beautiful. It's very still. It's got that bit of a dirty, damp haze in the air. But it really is quite beautiful. I love this section anyway. I always find this very pretty. This is Curdworth Church Bridge here. And we're heading down towards Curdworth Tunnel, which when we get there, I want to show you a part of it that you need to be aware of if you ever travel down here. I'll show you that when we get there. guess that's where I should be, just holed up with my fire on. No, here I am. So this is the approach to the beautiful Curdworth Tunnel. It is nice, it's a small tunnel, but again it's got a lot of character. But at this end, as you're looking at it now, on that left hand edge of the arch, the initial kind of 2 or 3 meters, they're not very round. In fact, they come very close to your cabin top. So if you're ever coming through this tunnel, be very aware that you need to stay nice and tight to the towpath side, because you'll see quite a hefty bulge in this tunnel entrance, which has nearly caught me out a couple of times. Let me see if I can get myself into a better camera position so you can see how untrue it is. It's not easy, you know, steering, talking, filming. You can possibly see now that it's not very true. So I just need to make sure I'm pretty tight to the towpath, which I believe I am. Hard to tell from here. But yes, this very first section here on this edge, you see where a lot of people have caught it. Quite a bulge there, quite a bulge. But yeah, it's a nice little tunnel this, if you like those sorts of things. I suspect there's probably a lot of bats in here, certainly lots of spiders, ghosts, ghoulies, goblins, witches. I didn't mean to say ghoulies. Obviously there are some ghoulies in here, we're not going to talk about those. You can possibly see it now, how the end of the tunnel actually comes across a bit flat. It's not very round. So here I am. I've arrived at top lock. That's the winding hole just before it. This is lock number 1 of the Curdworth flight. Number 1 of 11. It looks like it's got some water in, so that's good news. That duck might have its leg stuck down between the bricks. Looks a bit funny. I'll go and have a look. Because my worry now is if it has, it's going to panic when I get to it. I don't want it to hurt its leg. We've got a problem, mate. It fooled me. It fooled me. Definitely thought that duck had got a problem. It definitely looked like its foot, its webbed bit of its foot, was down the crack in the brick. Just the way it kind of didn't move when I first showed myself, and the other 2 moved and it didn't. I definitely thought I was having to be a duck saving hero. And it's made me look stupid. And even though I'm on my own, I feel a little bit silly. My intentions were correct. I've forgotten how to single hand. This hat looks very silly. It's gonna have to go. Hats get on my nerves. But yeah, it's a bigger job when you single hand. I've had 4 people, 4-man crew for the last 2 days. This is a baptism of fire. 1 down, 10 to go. So lock 2. And boat on its way up and the next lock down. So this was already empty, so I've opened the bottom gate for them. So hopefully they'll leave the top gate of that lock down there ready, unless they know of somebody coming behind. should be left, I'm sure. I always quite like that view of the view of the bridge in the distance, with the bridge in the foreground. It's quite nice shot. Make a nice painting, I think. That's what you want. Nice bit of collaboration between the locks and crews. Makes it a lot easier. I do like a bottom gate that's got the paddles on it, because I don't have to stay the other side. As soon as I open this gate, I can access both of the mechanisms. They're both coming round to my side, which is perfect. It'd help if the boat was out of the way. Go on, move. Move, go back, wee mate, go back. Go back. Go back. There we go. See, I can now access both handles. Love it. Was quite a useful lock as well when you're single-handing, because you can just bring the boat right into this channel here and it sits there behaving itself. So, lock 4. So I've come down to lock 5. That's looking back at lock 4. The boat's in 4, made sure it's settled, it's not hung up on the front gate, and it's not going to drift back to the sill. So that's fine, it's quite shallow, so I could see that it was never going to go onto the sill. I could see this was full, so it kind of makes sense to come and, with it just being like a short little walk to here, come and get this ready so I can just come straight in without faffing around with the boat. So this is where I get political. Warning, warning, political rant coming. Political rant, HS2. What a disaster. I've said it before, and I'm sure the majority of people I know are of the same belief. But this thing, this monstrosity, that's going over the M42 there. It's by junction, between junction 9 and 10. This is just horrific. What is it, 150 miles in length or some 120 miles in length, and it's probably about a quarter of a mile wide for all of that distance at least, and that's been nice to them, because the effect of it is further than quarter of a mile, but just horrific, the scar that it's put on the landscape. But I have to try and give a balanced view. It's all right me putting something on YouTube, I've got no one to debate it with me and argue a different point. So we're trying to look at, what are the benefits of it. The massive benefit of it was the employment of the labour, and then all of the different industry and manufacturing processes around that to create the goods, to do it, the JCBs or whatever they are, steel. Mind you, a lot of that's probably come from China. It's not even come from this country anymore. There's a massive employment thing there, which will probably have been across, 10, 12 years. So that's fantastic. That's brilliant for those people and those companies. But there's a lot of backhanders gone on in this, because ultimately you can employ those people to create better housing. When you look at a city, the city's generally lovely, isn't it? And then the outer suburbs are quite nice as well. And there's a bit in the middle, isn't there? There's like a middle sort of, there's a middle circle of it where it's had its time, and a lot of that could be either demolished if it's not of any historic interest, or renewed, rejuvenated, made more efficient. You did that in every city across this country to create some better housing. I was going to try and walk across this lock whilst holding a phone and talking to you, which is probably not the best thing to do. But yeah, you do that, because there's a massive call for housing. And I'm talking brownfield sites here as well. Not green spaces, but there's an awful lot of places that have already got buildings on that are awful, terrible. Lots of that land knocking about. Let's get that turned into something usable. all of those people can be employed. Many, many more companies will benefit from it. The whole country will benefit, because once you start building houses, that's a massive kick up the backside for economies and stuff like that. People then sell those things at a profit, so people start to get more well off. Your country starts to, you know, on a broader level, starts to get a bit more wealthy. But no, we're gonna create this thing that gives a really tiny proportion of the country a benefit of getting to London half an hour faster. And as it was, they've been conned. These really clever people who earn a lot of money, who have supported this thing, have actually been conned, because it doesn't even get them into bloody London. It gets them into some outlying station where they've then got to get another train into London. You may as well just jump on the standard train that takes you directly into Euston. I always will. Absolutely ridiculous. What an absolute swizz. A con. So, I rest my case. HS2, I hate it. I recognise it has some benefits for some people. But oh my God, that, what was it? £115 billion or something? Imagine that, spent on housing. Oh.
So thanks for watching, sorry for moaning, and please do keep liking and subscribing. You have no idea how much that helps me. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.